Hey, it's Bill Russell. I'm here in my yellow hat. I wore it at Vive and Hims to signify our partnership with Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation and the search for cures and to combat childhood cancer. I'm just blown away by the generosity of our community. With the help of our partners, Short Test, Rackspace, CTG, and some of you giving individually, we were able to raise close to $40,000 at those two events. It is just exceptional. And I would like to thank all of you who have joined us in this cause. If you would like to be a part of it as well, go ahead and hit our page, thisweekhealth.com. You can go to the top blue banner that is on our homepage and click on that to give today. Thank you again for being a part of this effort and this cause. Today in Health IT, we're going to take a look at the Amazon Omada announcement that just came out over the weekend and see what we can determine it means for healthcare systems. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16-hospital system and creator of This Week Health, a set of channels and events dedicated to transform healthcare one connection at a time. We want to thank our show sponsors who are investing in developing the next generation of health leaders: Short Test, Artisight, Parlance, Certify Health, Notable, and ServiceNow. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. One last thing, share this podcast with a friend or colleague. Use it as a foundation for daily or weekly discussions on topics that are relevant to you and the industry. They can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, let's take a look at the announcement. I'm going to take this from Becker's and a post from, LinkedIn. That's where I'm going to take it from. Aaron Martin posted something out on LinkedIn, and we'll go visit that in a second. Here's the announcement. Amazon expands healthcare reach with Omada partnership. Amazon Health is partnering with Omada, a virtual-first healthcare provider focusing on treating and preventing chronic conditions, including diabetes and hypertension. Omada and Amazon are launching the health condition programs, which will promote Omada cardiometabolic programs with the goal of encouraging more consumers to enroll through their employer-sponsored or individual health plans. Nearly 25% of employees report they are unaware of all the benefits available to them through their health plan, according to an Omada press release. And the partnership between Amazon and Omada aims to increase awareness of the diabetes prevention, diabetes, and hypertension services. Through the partnership, Amazon can identify people who search for diabetes prevention and hypertension products and promote a pathway for those consumers to see if they are eligible for Omada's programs. Consumers can also find the general healthcare check on Amazon Health's website, and they'll be guided to Omada's website if they are eligible to enroll. When the consumers are shopping for health-related products on Amazon, we can surface these benefits to provide even more support and improving their health at no additional cost, said Aaron Martin. Omada accepts health plan enrollment from 1,900 employer plans that include 20 million covered lives. All right, so that's the story from Becker's. Let's see what Aaron Martin had to post on LinkedIn. So this, again, Aaron Martin, this is what he has to say. The core of what we do at Amazon Health Services is to make it easier for people to get and stay healthy. By the way, that's going to be a key phrase here, and we're going to come back to it. Sometimes that starts with something as simple as making people aware of health benefits that they may already have through their employer or health insurance plan. And then he goes on to talk with Amazon's health condition programs. Customers can easily discover digital health benefits. I'm incredibly excited to announce Omada Health, so forth and so on. And then he has a link to that. And 163 people have linked to and liked it. And I wonder why, actually. All right, so let's go to my take on this thing. So the core of what Amazon Health Services is to make it easier for people to get and stay healthy. Over the last year and a half, I commented when Aaron Martin went to Amazon that they needed him, that their health strategy was all over the place. And then as recently as 6 months ago, a bunch of their health people were interviewed, and the article was so all over the place that I was wondering if Aaron was having any impact whatsoever, because the strategy was so convoluted. And I was surprised that they allowed that kind of messaging to get out, because it was just all over the board. This is about as clear as it has been. We can argue whether it's the right strategy or the wrong strategy. But this is about as clear as it's ever been. And from that perspective, it's the right strategy. Anytime you're clear, it's good for the market. It's good for your services. All right. So the core of what we do at Amazon Health Services is to make it easier for people to get and stay healthy. They are not competing directly with health systems per se. They are not going after sick care. They're going after well care. So this aligns them more to compete with people like Transcarent, with Google, and with a whole host of other players, or partner with them to keep people healthy. Now, to a certain extent, this competes with the hospitals and health systems in that this will hopefully keep people out of the health systems and the hospitals, which will continue to put pressure on margins and revenue and those kinds of things. But this at identifies the area where Amazon's going to play. I think it's also interesting to take a look at their Amazon Health Condition programs. This is smart. And by the way, if I'm working at Google, I'm reading this and going, we could do this a lot better than them. And they could do this a lot better than them. They should just take the blueprint and copy it over to Google. But with that being said, this is a really good strategy. People searching for certain equipment, certain things, certain items within the Amazon world, and then them linking them to providers like Omada, linking them to hard goods and other things, linking them to the Amazon pharmacy and other things to that effect. So it's linking all these disparate systems that Amazon has sprung up over the years and starting to weave them together into a narrative, into a set of services and into a narrative that actually makes sense to people. Oh, if I have diabetes, there is a suite of services that Amazon can bring to bear on this, including low-cost drugs, including Omada Health, including some other things, which I'm sure they're looking at. And not only that, they're going to help me to navigate, is this covered by insurance? Is it not covered by insurance? Not necessarily a service that Amazon offers, but it's definitely a service that Omada offers that they will help me to determine whether it's part of my employer program or not. So I find this to be interesting. The question that I most often get asked around these kinds of announcements is, should we be looking to partner with these kinds of services? And the answer is, it depends. I know I hate that answer too, but it really depends. You have to be careful in these partnerships. For example, if they get in between, the disintermediation that can happen if they get in between you and the customer is hard to recover from, if ever recover from. You don't just allow people to step in between you and your customer, because that is where the relationship happens. And if they disintermediate you, they can then direct the services wherever they want to go. And so you always have to be cautious of that as you're entering into these partnerships. Now, with that being said, they have a core capability in terms of logistics, in terms of offering of services, in terms of digital experience that the health system doesn't have today. Now, if you're a smaller health system and there's no foreseeable path for you to develop those services for your community, then yes, you should figure out a way to partner. If you are a larger system, have the wherewithal to develop some of these services, yeah, I wouldn't cede that ground to a player that could potentially disrupt you later. I'm not sure that's a good strategy. I'm not sure anyone in any MBA program would recommend that kind of strategy. I think you need to develop the skills and capabilities to get closer to your client, develop those kinds of capabilities internally, whether it be development capabilities, analytics capabilities, logistics services and capabilities, the ability to take your services into new modalities, taking them to the home, taking them to the place of business and those kinds of things. You're going to have to develop some skills that Amazon has as core competency, and they're going to have to develop some skills that you have as core competency. And the question is, what serves the consumer the best? Because that's where they're going to go, where there's the least friction, where there's the best quality, where there's an existing relationship or a valued relationship. That's where they're going to go. So anyway, that's my read on this today. I think it's a good move. I think there's some clarity coming to the Amazon strategy, and I think it will create some opportunities and some questions that we need to answer as we move forward as health system leaders. All right, that's all for today. Don't forget, share this podcast with a friend or colleague. Keep the conversation going. We want to thank our channel partners who are investing in our mission to develop the next generation of health leaders. SureTest, Artisight, Parlance, Certify Health, Notable, and ServiceNow. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. Thanks for listening. That's all for now.